mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. One chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
It's Gucci YouTube. It's your boy Black Got 3 long face, skinny body. We are back, still black with some more fire Boruto manga related content. Now before you end the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, share the video with your friends, and let's just get straight to the business because I know that's what you're really trying to get to. Like honestly and truly, right? Boruto chapter 12 left everybody, and I mean everybody, with a lot of questions from Boruto himself to the man Jura, you know what I'm saying? We like Kawaki got mad questions, Sarada has, Konohamaru has questions, like Konohamaru has a lot of questions. We have questions, and I feel like some of the most important questions on a lot of our minds are two things, and I'm gonna just like toss up in air because I've seen a lot of discussion and a lot of discourse, but I'm gonna say Momoshiki and the Thorn Soul Bub are the two biggest things, because it's like, okay, what's going down? Is Momoshiki coming back? You know what I'm saying? And then honestly, is Hidari dead? If Hidari is dead, what's the whole thing with this Thorn Soul Bulb? What is Jura gonna do? Is he about to go revive Hidari? You know what I'm saying? Are they heading, or are they deading that storyline with Sarada? I find it hard to believe. So it's gonna be a real interesting factor. But all of this ties into, you know, the idea of Boruto's fate at the end of chapter 12, because a lot, like I said, a lot of things happened over the course of the chapter, but a lot of questions rose towards the end of the chapter, especially with the quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, fatal blow that Boruto took. Now, looking back over the last 12 chapters, this man Boruto hasn't had a speck of hair, a speck of dust touch a hair follicle on his head since the last 12 chapters. In any type of general aspect you can take into the matter in terms of what Boruto should do next, because we have not seen this man get hit. So everybody is in a frenzy like, oh my gosh, you've seen the SpongeBob episode, like what's the name? So everybody doesn't know what to do once Boruto finally has gotten tagged with the actual jutsu and he fell to the ground. And some people are saying fatal wound, some people are saying Momoshiki possible revival, and I even see some people saying Kawaki will have the gall. You know what I'm saying? And then I told y'all last video, I'm like, this might even be the opportunity that Kishi was waiting for Sarada to pull out the Mangekyo. Because I know for a fact, I even finna say, I know for a fact, Sarada ain't finna sit there and let it rock. Kawaki trying to make a move on Boruto while he's down and out for the count. She's gonna punch his head in like she was supposed to do back in chapter 4 when they was head to head in the Hokage's office. But that's a discussion for another day. Boruto's fate is really what's key here, because there's so many if ands, there's too many question mark factors that we can take into account. Just all ties into like what's going down with Boruto at the end of this chapter. We know what happened, right? Boruto has been moving around the chapter in and out constantly within the last, you know what I'm saying, year. In our time, you know, going in and out as he pleases, just as Konohamaru said. We also understand the things that he's been doing, protecting people. He even protected random Jonin in the chapter. He protected obviously Himawari. He protected Sarada. There's times where he, you know, his information, or you know, just his quick thinking and being on his toes protected Konohamaru, and the sensory ninja Nishi that was also there on the battlefield. So all of these things are occurring and going down at once. So, you know, right now everybody's thinking off of adrenaline and thinking off of react first and think second. You could tell in the instance where Boruto got shot, everybody automatically surrounded his body. Even Kawaki surrounded his body in the defensive stance, because the first thing on everybody's mind isn't, yo, let's protect Boruto, but the first thing is like, what the hell just happened to Boruto? And now, can it happen to me next, right? So everybody is on their toes right now, especially after Sarada got shot in her arm, right? And quick thinking on Sarada's end in terms of like, okay, Boruto said that can save my dad. Let's go ahead and try to retrieve that. Obviously, we see where that went. And we understand everybody is on their toes, especially after we see Boruto has finally went down. And his fate ties heavily into the continuation of the story, because we understand the village is treating him as, you know what I'm saying, a traitor, right? So it's not just all, okay, it's gonna be obvious. They're gonna take him in, they're gonna help him heal, they're gonna allow him to heal, or they're even gonna be, you know, welcoming to him despite the things that he's done earlier on and the protection he's provided against the Shinju. So it's gonna be real interesting in that aspect. And this is all, right? This is all if Jura decides to ease up. This is just if Jura decides to ease up. Now, if Jura decides to ease up this whole video, you know, throwing it away, right? Because if he decides to continue pressing forward, then there's going to be a lot of questions. What is Kawaki going to do in order to defeat Jura? How fast can Boruto get back on his feet? And will Boruto even be able to get back on his feet in order to continue to fight? And then three, lastly, who's going to be able to stop Jura currently on the battlefield? Now, we all know that writers currently, I don't think they want Jura to lose. So for the mere fact that they don't want Jura to lose, at least right now, he's not going to meet Damon. Why? Because if he were to meet Damon, Damon's really going to punch the brakes off of this man's face. He's going to have Jura holding his own Thorn Soul Bowl in the mirror, questioning like, Nani, like what is going on here? So if they don't want that to happen, Jura and Damon, they just can't meet. So Damon is already out the picture, because if Jura definitely decides to continue, I feel like this is going to be the point where the story shows us how much stronger Jura is than Boruto. They've been leaving it in the gray area because the story has been showing us time and time again throughout all the interactions with different characters. Boruto is strong. Not only is Boruto strong, he's gotten like dramatically stronger, and it's not no joke, right? And it's always been questions. Okay, we've seen him box with Bug, we've seen him, you know what I'm saying, exchange blows with Matsuru, we've seen him time and time again exchange blows with Hidari, and then to my now, I say honestly, Boruto, he can 1v1 Hidari just from what we've seen, right? But we've seen all of these things occur, and then the little to none that we've seen from Jura is all but more than enough to let us know, okay, Jura is not only just the strongest of these Shinju, but possibly just the strongest person outside of Damon, you know what I'm saying? And question mark, like, can he beat Boruto? How much stronger is he than Boruto? Like, most people think he's stronger than Boruto, but now it's just like, we have to see more, right? And there's a lot of interesting aspects on Jura's aspect, just for the fact, like, he hasn't gone all out. He admitted he wants to know what it's like to go full strength. He's seen Boruto put in work against his own fellow Shinju. He did not freak out. The thing that really took him off of edge, the thing that really got him, you know, his gears grinding, was the fact that Boruto now found out the Thorn Soul Bulb. It wasn't like, damn, Boruto was able to do this type of limitless Uzihiko, this maximum output. Damn, look what he did to Hidari. No, it was like, damn, this nigga know about the Thorn Soul. I feel like he probably would have been just as pissed if Jura would have heard Boruto passing on the information, and not even if they would have killed Hidari and found the bulb itself. But Boruto just would have been like, nah, these niggas got a Thorn Soul bulb. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jura would have been just as pissed. So it's not necessarily Hidari himself, but more so on the Thorn Soul bulb. So right now, Jura is a wild card in the sense of how Boruto's fate could go. Because if he leaves it up into the fate of Konoha, there's still things that we can question, right? Would Kawaki try to attack Boruto down and out right now, currently in the midst of everything going on? It would be real interesting for his character if he decides to even go that route, right? Does Sarada openly defend him in a village that's obviously has a kill on site order for Boruto? What would Shikamaru order? You know what I'm saying? A stand down, or just let Boruto escape? You know, the more likely case scenario, just so I can get this out the way so people won't be like, oh, all this. Boruto is gonna make like an anime dad and just go disappear. You feel me? Like, it ain't nothing for him to flying Raijin up out the village like he's done so many times before. It's situations where it's like, oh, it's getting heated. Boruto's here. How is he gonna handle these interactions? Flying Raijin. You know what I'm saying? The first time Boruto and Kawaki saw each other, flying Raijin. You feel me? The second time Boruto and Kawaki saw each other, almost saw each other, flying Raijin. You feel me? It's just like a whole lot of instances where Boruto is in a situation where it's like, okay, now this is the time, or this is a moment where a dramatic or a story turning point can occur. Boruto flying Raijin's out of there. It's like the writers trying to lead us on, but they're not necessarily give us everything right all at once. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kawaki goes for a kill. Sarada has her little, you know what I'm saying, chill out, but they don't want to take it too far where openly Sarada is openly not only just fighting Kawaki, but going against the village orders and protecting a criminal. So in her position, and in that point in time, obviously with Shikamaru's position, he's not openly defending Boruto as some of us may have forgotten over the years. It's just that he's been helping Boruto behind the scenes. He's not going to be able to openly defend Sarada, so Sarada's going to put herself in a position where most likely, and people like myself tend to believe, that she might end up leaving the village along with Boruto this time around. So it's real interesting. And then even after all of that, right? All of that, say no flying Raijin, no protection from Sarada, say Jura does decide to dip because he has to see about and tend to Hidari and his Thorn Soul Bow. Momoshiki popping up would just do so much damage for the man's, like, because I don't even know if it's more 50 or more, like, you know what I'm saying, negative. Like, I don't even know, because at this point, everybody, it's already been stated, they stopped questioning as to why Kawaki has a scientific ninja body and why he doesn't have Momoshiki's soul inside of his body any longer, because they know those were the two two things that ultimately define Boruto's character, because one, Naruto's son wouldn't have a scientific ninja body, and two, Naruto's son whole Momoshiki shenanigans is one of the main issues of his story, especially in part one. So having Momoshiki pop up could be on some shit like, a person be like, whoa, isn't that supposed to be like Kawaki? Like, why is he calling himself Momoshiki? Now that I think about it, Kawaki hasn't rampaged in a while. Did he like take out Sasuke's eye? What's going on? Or it could just add on to the fact that, nah, this nigga Boruto's a traitor, and they just block out all of the I'm Momoshiki Otsutsuki nonsense and just think, nah, this nigga Boruto blacked out and he, you know what I'm saying, started killing people and destroying the village as we expected. So it's real dangerous. It's like, what will Momoshiki, and that honestly can be in a whole video on its own, because if Momoshiki decides to return in chapter 13, it's gonna be real interesting, especially understanding how Kasha and Koji decided to freak out in the previous chapters once Boruto's karma decided to spread without his, you know what I'm saying, willingness or allowance in order for it to do so. So that's gonna be a very interesting in that regard. But all in all, Boruto's fate is gonna be tied heavily to how the story continues to move forward, because at this point, he isn't just your typical collateral damage. This the nigga that's been like putting all of the big players on pause. You know what I'm saying? You know, whether he wants to admit it or not, Jura has to go about his plans or make certain adjustments because of Boruto's existence. Boruto is that strong enough to where we obviously see he's a hindrance, and between the two of Boruto and Kawaki, Boruto has to be eliminated first. So he's not no typical, you know, collateral damage. You can't treat him like any other shinobi out there, because he ain't like any other shinobi out there. It's really Boruto, big Boruto Uzumaki of the Mangekyo Uchiha gang, you know what I'm saying? Newest born bred family member of the Otsutsuki clan, big Boruto. That's the type of dude that we're dealing with, and that's the type of threat that Jura understands he's gonna have to continually, meticulously, whether it be taking advantage of the situation right now or go back to the drawing board, make sure Hidari is on game and ready to lock in before he hops back out in the field. So it's gonna be real interesting in that regard. But all in all, like I said, he's not typical collateral damage. So whatever Boruto happens, like whatever happens with him is gonna be where the story decides to go. So I don't see the village like, oh, let's tend to Boruto's wound. Let's make sure Boruto is cool. I can possibly see Kawaki trying to make a move while he's down and out. The more likely scenario is that Boruto flying Raijins out there. What I personally wish for is a little skirmish between Sarada and Kawaki, because Kawaki tries to make a, you know what I'm saying, a dickhead move, and now Sarada is ostracized and labeled a traitor by the village as well, because it's like, you're openly defending a traitor while he's down and out. Like, we can get rid of this dude right now, and you're defending him. And not only in that situation, Boruto not only flying Raijins out of there, but he's like, fuck it, I can't leave Sarada in this type of situation after she openly defended me. We both out, you know what I'm saying? And then we get to the juiciness. And what's the juiciness? Orochimaru, you know what I'm saying? What's going down with that? Because we know he using breakthrough, wind style breakthrough. That's originally Orochimaru's jutsu. And then Kashin Koji. Where did you see the last Thorn Soul Bow from? How are you able to recognize this thing? You familiar with Black Chapter 3 Long Face Skinny Body? Holla at your boy. Let me know how y'all feel about Boruto Chapter 12 and all of the questions that arise. And ultimately, what do y'all think Boruto fate lies at the end of Chapter 12 going into Chapter 13? Here's your boy Black Chapter. Holla at your boy. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Black Chapter. Yes, sir. Ski.